we'll have to figure it out. Okay, that's fine. Where can I get a shirt? What's your size? Medium.
You're a graduate, right? No, I'm not a graduate. I'm actually not a graduate. No, I mean you graduated by you haven't yet? Okay.
We're not playing on that computer.
Yeah, just I guess I was a BC from.
Hi there, everyone. We're about to get started. If you could move inside the room, that would be great. We need a line of vision to these seats here. Thank you. I do, yeah. That's what I'm doing.
Ah, busy weekend. Well, which is good. I didn't relax much, but no, I was okay.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome. We're about to get started. I'd like to introduce Dr. Guiyu Huang, 19th President of Edinboro University.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Good morning, everybody. So good to see so many people in one room. It is a good morning. It is great to have all of you being here, students, colleagues from across the campus, representatives from the intermediate unit, and many, many others who are here, who are joining us via live stream. And I hope this is a good event for everybody here and not here. Today represents the combination of many, many efforts, conversations, research, planning, and traveling to other venues where esports is a trend. Building on our strengths in animation and game design, we announced several months ago that we would launch a esports team. Today, we are launching it. Let me tell you a little bit about these programs, our strengths in this program. Edinboro's animation program was ranked number 13 nationally by Animation Career Review in 2018. That's great. Number 13. It's a great number in this case. The same publication ranked us among the top 5 game design schools and colleges in Pennsylvania. Appropriately, very fitting that Edinboro University is the first college or university in Western Pennsylvania to launch a varsity esports team, and they are here. Many of them are here. Of course, there's a lot more to gaming than many might imagine. To be successful, these students, athletes, they must be strategists and problem solvers, right? You know, these are being strategic and problem solving. You also need to be to use your intellects and hone your skills in thinking, critical thinking, and in clarity of thought. They must also refine their skills in communications and collaborations. These are critical strengths to what you do as a student and what you do as a citizen or as an employee of an organization. And they are critical strengths in our 21st century global economy, whether you become a professional gamer or not. Now I'm happy to introduce my colleague, Chris Rose, our esports director. I'm sorry, actually it's Chris Howell, right? Chris Rose is the first one. I'm sorry. Chris Rose is the first one. I'm sorry. Chris Rose, our esports director and swim coach. Chris, thank you for being here.
This is a day that I really wasn't sure if it was going to happen or not, but this is definitely a big collaboration with everybody in the university. I've been here 18 years, and in the course of my 18 years, I don't have that much opportunity to work with a lot of people off campus or throughout other areas of campus. So I really need to thank, Dr. Robbins, our interim president, Mike Hannon, the support of Bill Edmonds. Without these individuals, I don't necessarily know if this would have happened. This has definitely been a big team effort to bring athletics into it. So, working with, the president and the provost's office, the Office of Finance, facilities, residence life, IT, admissions, advancement, and marketing. As you can see, this was a big collaboration that really has been brought to life now. One thing I say that I've always said in athletics is, great things happen when you surround yourself with good people, and I think this is definitely a demonstration of that. After announcing that we were going to be doing esports about a year ago, we had about 30 applicants within the first half hour. It was quite overwhelming, to say the least. When we also announced there were 82 schools, 82 universities that had a varsity esports program, and now there's over 130. So it's a great honor, I think, for not only myself, but for the university to say we are the first university, not just in the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference, but in Northwest Pennsylvania, that's going to have an esports program. Excuse me. The momentum, I can tell you, has never ceased. With the different interviews that I did with radio, TV, newspaper, as well as I met with all the superintendents in Erie and Crawford County, and with their collaboration, now they're beginning esports programs at the high school level, excuse me, which is going to in turn help us out, hopefully, with some enrollment. According to admissions, the applications went up by almost 30% after we announced esports. Not that esports had everything to do with that, but I'd like to think, there's definitely a big part of that. When we held our first meeting to see, the interest level of people on campus and whatnot, we had over 70 students participate. So with that said, we've had over 160 applications since we announced. So I definitely think that this is something that is really going to benefit not just the athletic program, but the university as a whole. We've just completed our tryouts, and I can say that our teams are together. Yesterday, we were looking at starting or participating in our first Rocket League tournament, but because of the overwhelming response of all the other schools interested, their server crashed and we had to postpone the tournament. With that said, I want to introduce our main coach, Chris Hauer. When we announced our plan to begin esports, we were hoping that we would find somebody that had a little bit more knowledge than me, and I believe we definitely did that. Chris has an extensive background in professional gaming, and what really kind of separated him apart from others was his dedication not only just to the gaming, but to the student athlete as a whole, as far as the academics, as well as the physical attributes that go along with it. So with that, I'd like to introduce Chris Hauer, our esports coach.
How's everybody doing today? I don't exactly have anything prepared, but what I would like to say is this is a really exciting time for the university as a whole, and esports is just going to get significantly larger. That's a fact. If you take, entertainment as a whole, and traditional sports viewership is in the decline and this is on the rise, I think that speaks volumes in itself. The games that we chose are largely what we thought were games that would strike with the community here. There are other popular esports titles that we may have not chosen, and games could change, over the next semester or so. It just depends on what the community here on campus is interested in playing. And as each semester passes, we're going to get students from all over, and the interest is going to go towards other games. But this is really exciting because for the first time, at least in Erie County, there's an opportunity for a more of a transition from like the casual player that's just playing for entertainment when they get home from school to the player that actually wants to compete and take it to the next level and maybe win some prize pool money. There's going to be a large focus on academics and making sure that our students aren't shirking their responsibilities, and we don't want anybody's GPA dropping for the sake of video games and just the opportunity to compete, because that's not realistic. It's supposed to be a comprehensive program where we focus on everything, and I want these students to be professional at every level in their life, not just at gaming. So with that, that's pretty much all I have. I think this is going to be one of the best semesters that Edinboro has had, just as a whole. That's really all I got.
Sounds good. We can do the virtual ribbon cutting now and then open it up for questions.
That's it.
Okay. Now, Dr. Huang and the two Chris's are available for questions, so let the questions begin. No questions?
There's a question over there.
How many students are you going to have on the esports team?
We have approximately like 38, 40 right now. That's between 8 teams.
And Chris, you were a professional gamer, correct?
Semi-pro. I had some bouts in the pro scene, but never made it like so big that I was competing for a world championship. So no, I had some close calls, and my mother and my grandmother are actually here, and they can attest that I spent way too many hours trying to get to that level. But yeah. Any other questions?
Everybody's so well informed. Everybody's so well informed.
Okay, well,
Okay.
thank you all very much. If there are media representatives here who would like individual interviews, feel free to step up. We also would be remiss if we didn't thank our sponsors. So thank you. Their names are all listed on the wall over there. And thank you all for coming.
Have a good day.